that, so we've got this standing mode where there are places that you can go to for information and referrals about housing and or legal aid, and yet here we are at this juncture because the barriers include accessibility as one, and then also not having trust in communities as the other. So that actually clarifies it quite a bit. So now I would ask, how do those things get remedied with a burgeoning organization like this one? So this is the launch of the legal clinic, as you all have told me, the housing legal clinic. Now, how does this idea translate to action? And if someone were to ask that, what recommendations would you give them? And we don't have to go in order, but like that I think is an important question. Like, it sounds like a great idea. Now, how does it get realized?
And I think we can talk a little bit about like the sentences you sent. What is the work that you're going to be doing? And
I mean, I think the work we're going to do is really going to be driven by the work you all think we should be doing, right? So we want to create a clinic and a system that works for you all and works for the folks that you guys are helping. But the types of issues I anticipate we'll be working on are, evictions, terminations from various housing programs, for housing violations, substandard housing. We have a lot of new protections in Portland that are really great for tenants, but we know folks are not even able to access them because they don't maybe know about them, or their landlords are intentionally trying to make them not available. So enforcement of some of the special rights folks in Portland have.
And educating them on what that means, because a lot of times people are intimidated by participating in the process because they don't have enough information, or maybe even the information that's available to them might not be easily explained. So, any questions about what she just said?
Actually, I want to add on to that a lot of people, especially with shifting and forcing people outside of Portland into other areas, everyone in Multnomah County does not have the same protection. So you could be out in Gresham and you could be, you could receive relocation, like you could be entitled to it, but then across the street your neighbor is not, it cannot get those things. And I feel like it's the responsibility of people like in power and in positions of power to make sure that everybody has the same access. Because in Gresham they have a amazing inspections program that we do not have here. So if you need your apartment inspected, you're the one that kind of has to reach out to somebody to get that going.
Wow.
And it kind of doesn't make sense. Like, what if it's not ADA accessible? What if it's not safe? What if there's lead paint? That's not something that we're entitled to here. So it's not equitable at all.
And so one of the thoughts, like with building this around community and around community's engagement, is how do we kick it off? Like, we know the services that you provide, and we know now we've facilitated a space, and that our long-term goals are to bring in more legal referrals. But for the housing clinic, what would you think would be the first thing that we should do in regards to when we should start facilitating the conversations? Because just like Ms. Deloney said, there's a lot of new laws and there's a lot of information. And I'm always open to just kicking things off immediately, like, oh, let's put some calendars together and let's start organizing the outreach. But what do you think is most important for us to start with so that we make the biggest impact? Because we can go knock on doors and let community members know that we're here, and I think that also doing this video is going to help us get the word out. But what would be the first thing?
I think it can be multiple tiered, right? I think it can be door knocking, it can be, using your networks of folks, and we could also do a big know your rights training and give folks information, and then hopefully once they have information and they know, maybe they'll be more interested in, enforcing those rights or recognizing that there was a wrong that happened at some point.
Awesome.
Great. So in terms of the trust piece, I also am giving this to the group